Hey everybody, it is Nick Chappell in my radio studio. I'm at work right now. Even though it looks like I'm in Epcot, I'd much rather be there right now than at work, but soon enough I'll be back in Disney at some point. So this is show number 2 of the Diz Twitter podcast. I had so much fun doing the first show last week. My guest was Professor Leisure Time TV, as he is on Twitter right now. So big thanks to him. I had a great time doing it. It was so much fun. And thank you to everybody for checking it out. If you haven't checked it out, you can click down below on the YouTube channel and go back and watch that first episode. We had a ton of fun talking about the pools at the resorts and the water parks and Disney adults and all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you check that out. If you want to be a guest on a future show, I'm already booked up for June and July. So I'm looking out for later this summer and then rolling into the fall, believe it or not. So if you want to be a guest, come on, talk all things Disney. You can message me on Twitter. You can comment on any of my posts saying you want to do it. You can leave a comment on this video. Just reach out, and we'll try to get you booked on a future show. So now on to episode 2. I'm super excited. This is a dude who I've gone back and forth with on Twitter many times in the past. We finally got to meet up as well last summer. So let's bring on guest 2 of the Diz Twitter podcast. Enjoy, everybody. All right, everybody, and as promised, my special guest this week, I am super duper excited to talk to. It is Drew Disney Dude.
That is I. I am a dude that likes Disney, and my name is Drew, so here I am.
All right, so right out of the gate, because I'm going to ask everybody this, explain the Twitter handle. Yours is pretty self-explanatory, I guess.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess I could talk about a little bit on how I got to Drew the Disney Dude, because I used to do arcade content before I did Disney. Early 2017, you know, I was a big fan of, Dave & Buster's, Round 1, Main Event, because I didn't have Disney, I didn't live in Florida yet. So I was under the Midway Maniac at the time, a blend of Dave & Buster's $1 Million Midway Arcade and Toy Story Midway Mania. And then Drew the Disney Dude was just the most natural. At one point, I was considering Drew's Daily Dose of Disney because I wanted to do daily content, but that was just way too long of a name. So Drew the Disney Dude just felt like the perfect thing. And my dad always called me D3, like 3D, because it's 3Ds.
Nice.
So yeah, no, I love this name, and I'm glad that I got it early enough in the Disney content space before someone else did, selfishly. Cause
For sure.
I don't know what else I would have done, and I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna run with this, and I guess it's worked out pretty well to this point, so I'm excited to talk today, man.
I love it, man. Well, thank you for joining me. I was telling my son earlier, I was like, I'm going to go record the second podcast tonight. He's like, oh, that's cool. Who are you talking to? I was like, oh, this guy named Drew Disney Dude. He was like, oh, he just talked to Jesse from the Savannah Bananas long ago. So, he was super excited. He loves the bananas. And then I didn't even know that he watches your content. So you're big with all demographics, man. And I'm super excited to talk to you. We actually got to meet a couple of times at Destination D23. Was that August or September?
Time's been a blur. Like, I keep looking at I have a little thing on my phone with a countdown to D23 Expo, and I'm like, how is that 60 days away? Like, how are we almost to D23 again? And it's
nuts, man. I'm excited. Are you going?
I'm going to attempt to go. I don't know as of now, just with everything going on in my life recently, as everyone knows.
Yeah, I get it.
But the goal is to be there in some way, because it's like, I feel guilty going, but at the same time, I cannot miss what's going to be talked about. So,
Well, we're going to talk about D23 a little bit later, so let that be a tease, I guess.
Let's do it.
All right, so for people who aren't familiar with you or your story, let's back way up and tell me how you got into the Disney fandom. Like, at what point in your life growing up? How did that whole thing evolve?
Yeah, so I was very fortunate to be born about an hour from Disneyland. I was born in Valencia, California. And I think my earliest introduction to themed entertainment and theme parks would be Six Flags Magic Mountain, because their fireworks every night would wake me up, and I'd ask my parents to go out into the backyard and say, boom booms. I didn't know how to pronounce fireworks, so I'd say boom booms up in the sky.
I love that.
So I had fireworks over the backyard every night, and just being, an hour drive or so to Disneyland. Disneyland is pretty much where I grew up, just loving the parks, because my dad loved Disney so much he would take me there all the time as a kid, and it just was natural for me to be a Disney kid, I guess, just being close to the parks and with the family history, and I just grew up around it. And whenever I was about 4 years old, in 2006, we moved to Dallas, so at that point we were mid-country, and because, my parents had gone to Disneyland so many times, and I was like, well, now that we're in the middle of the country, we should go to Walt Disney World more. So from about 2006 to 2018, we'd come out here every few months, and at one point it was like, well, we come here so much, we should just move here. And I didn't take that as a joke. I'm like, oh, we got to move to Florida.
Wow.
So we moved to
That's
Florida.
awesome.
We moved to Florida just for Walt Disney World, and have been here for almost 8 years now. But yeah, just I guess my family loving the parks and me growing up in that environment. And then I vividly remember back when I was in middle school, I think it was 6th grade, when New Fantasyland was the only new thing. That's why I always laugh these days when people are like, oh, Disney needs to do more. I'm like, guys, if you just look back 15 years ago, there was maybe one big thing a year. Now we're getting 8 debuts in 7 weeks. It's unheard of what
crazy.
Disney is doing right now, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think back to whenever New Fantasyland and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is because that was the thing. So me kind of growing up and maturing a little bit and kind of gaining a sense of awareness of what was happening in the world of Disney, naturally Seven Dwarfs Mine Train was the only project for me to follow. And I was following like WW Magic, Vividly, and Disney Parks blog, and
Right.
just kind of understanding the construction and being fascinated by it, and then finally coming to the parks and seeing that construction and peeking through the walls and going on mine trains. So I guess that's where my love of actually following this stuff began, and then it was a very natural switch from arcades to Disney actually living here, having it in my backyard and having that blessing. So yeah, I guess just from when I was a baby to New Fantasyland and then to now kind of doing everything.
awesome.
It's been a fun ride,
Yeah.
but I love nothing more.
Very cool. So obviously the name of this podcast is the Diz Twitter podcast. So
Yeah.
how long have you been a part of Diz Twitter, I guess?
Well, I remember posting back on Twitter actually when I lived in Dallas still. Like,
Okay.
I think it was probably early 2018. But like, it was just kind of like, what is this app? Let me just start playing
Yeah.
around with it. And then I very quickly got addicted to it. So I've been on Twitter since 2018, but I would consider early 2021 when I really started posting a lot of Disney stuff. I
Okay.
vividly remember back when the park started to kind of reopen and all this stuff was happening out at Adventures Campus, like Loki would debut a new outfit like every single episode, and I'd have like the TikTok notifications on. I'd be like, oh, new Loki outfit. So I would turn to posting it on Twitter, and there was a few things that did well, so I credit Avengers Campus kind of that reveal, kind of
Yeah.
getting me on the Twitter train. But yeah, I'd say just over 5 years now, so about half a decade,
Okay.
I'd say.
Okay, very cool. So, I mean, I've been on Twitter. I don't even know. I'd have to go and look at my page because it'll tell you on there. But I don't live anywhere near Florida. I live in Virginia. So we
Yeah.
will drive down. It's like a little under 12 hours. It's a 2-hour flight. So I'm not close. So I consume everything that I can find on YouTube and Twitter and the like.
Yeah.
And I first became aware of you when you really started to delve in to cover the transition from Splash Mountain
Yep.
to Tiani's Bayou Adventure. And I feel like, I mean, you're kind of smiling a little bit. So I
Yep.
think that's when a lot of people
I
had
hear
you
that a
pop
lot.
up on the
Yeah.
radar. Yeah?
Yeah.
So how did that whole thing, I mean, did you just set out and be like, okay, I'm going to really delve into this project and cover it through and through and kind of go all in on this? Is that when it kind of really started to click?
Tiana's was actually a happy accident in a way, and I learned a lot from Tiana's because the more I've reflected on it now that it's been 2 years, I realized I was way too positive about that attraction and not as balanced as I should have been. But I don't regret what I did because number one, I learned from it, and also number two, that a lot of it was just actual construction updates and good info. But the main thing that kind of turned me on to Tiana's was when I remember vividly I was at the park one day, and this was before they had announced that the opening time frame had moved up to summer. Originally, we thought
Okay.
it was late 2024. And I was looking at the salt mine, the mountain, whatever you want to call it, whatever crazy
Yeah.
story they came up with, and I was like, this thing looks a lot more complete than I think people are realizing. So I took 4 pictures and I put them in like a little vertical cropped, like how you can like put a collage of
Yep.
photos together, and I put that on Twitter, and I'm like, well, this ride's progressing very quickly. Here's what's happening. It got like 700 likes on Twitter, and that was like, at the time, that was like a ton for me. It kind of opened my eyes,
Sure.
Something about me is that I am very aware of whenever something clicks and what people are reacting to, and then I take that and I run with it and lean into it. So that was
Okay.
the first time it kind of caught my attention. And then a few months later, I was at the park one morning with my very good friend Zach at Boardwalk Times, and he was just on vacation. He said, hey, let's hang out. So I was like, okay, sure, let's do it. And we were walking by Tiana's, and they were taking the scaffolding down, and I believe that was January. And I'm like, they're taking the scaffolding down now. They're saying this is opening late this year. There's no way. Something's not lining up. So I posted that this is a big milestone, scaffolding's coming down, and it pulled like another 800 likes, like 40,000 views. I'm like,
Wow.
all right, so people clearly like Tiana's. I'm going to start doing more of this, right? And sure enough, it turned into, let me go grab some construction pictures, into that was the main thing that I looked forward to doing pretty much every single day. Whereas at the parks like 4 times a week, looking through the walls, listening for audio, if the water was being filled up in the flume, if they were going to test Imagineers on it, literally any little detail I could get, I would lose my mind over. So it helped me learn a lot into what people like and what people wanted. Also, I guess kind of just perfectly snowballing into D23 in 2024 because people were very closely following what I was doing. And then 2 months later, we got 14 new rides announced in one night. And that was just like the perfect back-to-back saga of events of, I guess, my name kind of getting out there. But yeah, no, I have reflected on a lot on Tiana's because I think it really helped me to who I am today, having a lot more of an open mind into every perspective and trying to be more balanced with how I approach things. Not just, Drew loves this, so Drew's going to say that he loves this without thinking about anyone else, right? Like, my first review of Tiana's was so positive because that was a very emotional thing for me after standing out there for 5 months, finally going on the ride, right? Whereas now if I take a step back and I say, well, I loved it because of X, Y, and Z, well, not everyone's going to love it because of... So it really did help me learn a lot, and I've reflected on that a lot, and I think it's going to help me a lot more going into these big expansions at the parks. But yeah, no, Tiana's was a big one, and I'm still very grateful for that opportunity kind of just happening.
Yeah, so I mean, I remember following all your content. Like I said, that's where I really found out about you, and you were very positive about it, which I love. And you should have been excited. This is something you were stoked about doing. Yeah. But did it bum you out when there was so much negativity surrounding the ride?
I mean, initially it did, but at this point, today on June 10th of 2026, I'm kind of in that same boat with everyone else at this point, just because the ride doesn't have any maintenance anymore. Like, the way I look at it is if you're going to change Splash Mountain into Tiana's, I was like, okay, you know, for me personally, this is something that I also wish that more people understood, is that whenever people ask me my thoughts, they're getting the thoughts of someone who's very fortunate to live 15 minutes away from Magic Kingdom. So I don't have to deal with the Ubers, the lifts, getting to and from the airport, the hotels, the airfare, the lightning lanes, all of the stress that people deal with on a vacation. So if they're like, well, why are you so positive about the parks? Well, I can just go over to Magic Kingdom in 30 minutes, go on Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin 5 times if I want to during the fireworks, and that makes my entire day. That's all I need to do. Whereas, I don't. Sometimes I say that I'm not the best person to talk to, because I am in this little bubble, right? But yeah, just like Tiana's doesn't have the maintenance it needs right now. And I think that Imagineering is so focused on what's to come, which I think is a fantastic thing. But it's like at the same time, you have to maintain this ride, and it's not being maintained whatsoever right now. So it's at this point, it's really not a worthy successor by any means of Splash. And I've been extremely, I don't even remember the last time I went on it, for what it's worth.
Wow.
And that's coming from me. So
yeah. You don't necessarily think it was a mistake redoing it, but you're more bummed out that they're not maintaining it?
Yeah, it's a mix of, I've realized that it needs more show scenes in those two dark spots.
Oh, yeah.
It needs, it definitely needs a revisiting from the current leadership team at Imagineering saying, hey, we need to plus this ride now. I'm not saying 3 years from now. I'm saying this ride needs to be plus now, well before Cars and Villains open in 2028, 2029, whenever that may be. So yeah, it needs a ton of maintenance to where I'm not looking at a Lewis animatronic hanging over who's, you know, and I also think that they need to drastically plus those dark elements and really add more life and character into that ride. And there were many things that I was wrong about. You know, I really thought this ride was going to be like a Tokyo level thing, but then it opens and those critter animatronics barely move. So yeah, like I said, I learned a lot from it, and I definitely think it helped me mature to just my thought process today. Yeah, I just really hope that they maintain it going forward. But as each day passes and we're coming up to that 2-year anniversary, I'm like, man, it's just...
it's rough.
It feels neglected. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in rough shape, man. All right, so, you know, that kind of puts you on the map, the whole covering of the construction of that. Now, did you go into that saying, like, this is what I'm going to make my career? Or, like, how did that kind of launch you, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to do content full-time, and for what it's worth, I don't make a lot of money from this whatsoever. This is very much just a passion, and being so fortunate to be able to get this information out there to make people aware of what's happening and share it. Like, just today, that little Scooter clip, you know, I saw that at 1 p.m., and I'm like, well, I know that I love Scooter, I know people love Scooter, this is some fascinating info, I want to get that out there. So, for me personally, I've always had a fascination with being on top of things and seeing things very quickly, processing that, and then learning how to stage it for the world to see. Because it's not just the content that matters, it's very much how you craft it and present it to get that engagement and to get that interest from what people see. So yeah, I guess Tiana's opened my eyes to, oh, people like this stuff, and then I guess I kind of already hinted at it, but D23 Expo in 2024 really was just like, a blessing in so many ways, because the fact that that was just about 2 months after I had just gotten everyone's attention and people were like, oh, Drew's doing all this cool coverage, and then having
Right.
14 new rides to talk about and having that still through 2029 and 2030, even after these things open. Yeah, it's just crazy to think about how that set me up to be able to carry everything on, and then I guess everything just in between. You know, like originally we thought 2026 was going to be an off year for Disney,
Yeah.
and we've just gotten all these openings, like so many things to talk about. So even within waiting for these big expansions like Tropical Americas, there's been so many things to talk about. And
Yeah.
at times it gets overwhelming. Like I don't know what to cover and how to cover it. I feel like literally just the last few days has been the first time I've been able to breathe and just
Wow.
just be like, what do I want to dive into with my own thoughts? And that's
Yeah.
just coming 2 months before D23. So yeah, I really think that 1-2 combo of Tiana's and D23 just opened up the floodgates to just run with it and just go all out.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and I want to touch on something you said too. Like, you know, there's all this cool stuff coming, and we will talk about that. But I
Yeah.
think they kind of made the smart play too. In the meantime, while we're waiting for Piston Peak and Tropical Americas and all that, to plus like a Buzz Lightyear, and obviously they got Rock and Roller Coaster with the retheme for Muppets too. I
Yeah.
think that's smart, quick stuff they can do to kind of feed us some fresh stuff in the meantime.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny you mentioned this, and I'm actually really glad you mentioned it, because I recently was at a panel with the team behind all these updates, kind of talking about the reinvestment in the classics. And one of the main things that one of the Imagineers was talking about was like, well, we're thrilled about all these big expansions, right? Like, why would you not be? That's a dream opportunity for them. But
Yeah.
they kind of compared it to, in baseball, like if you're hitting a single or a double, if all those things add up, you score a lot of runs. And they
yeah.
compared all of the plus things of these rides to singles and doubles. So you pretty much take all these openings in the last 8-9 weeks we've had that kind of started back with Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin to Rock and Roller Coaster most recently, how all those things really add up and they kind of create multiple Grand Slams in a way. And I just thought that was a really great analogy, that they're not just looking 4 and 5 years down the road, but they're very much taking all these updates, even something like Carousel of Progress, just as seriously as the big expansions. And that's definitely been a big shift. It was not always like that whatsoever. I really think there's been a big initiative between Jeff Volley, who is retiring very soon, and Bruce Vaughn, and the current workforce in Florida, which the current Imagineering workforce in Florida is stronger than ever in this resort's 55-year history. So I think you kind of take all these things, they're like, well, we have a lot of opportunity to do this following the success of Country Bear Musical Jamboree, and that's kind of led to now, and I don't think it's going to slow down anytime soon. Like, kind of the way
Yeah.
they were talking, I'm like, well, you guys seem very confident in reinvesting. I'm like, are we about to see Space Mountain get changed? I think that's coming, but yeah, I don't know.
At least track.
I'm
Give
just
some
like,
fresh track.
if you guys are talking about reinvestments and highlighting this to us for a reason, I just feel like there's something after Carousel of Progress.
Yeah.
And what's next to Carousel of Progress? Space Mountain. So that'll be in my
Yeah.
D23 predictions video. But yeah, this is just the start of what's to come.
Yeah, dude, and you know, for so long people have been begging for, oh, they need a fifth gate, especially after Epic Open. Oh, Disney's got to respond; they need the fifth gate.
Yeah,
and that was
no,
never, no. That was never the way I looked at it either. It's like they've got 4 parks they need
Yep.
to pour money into first. Add, you know, fix up things. Like I'm stoked, like you mentioned, Carousel of Progress. I think that's great. Hopefully, Space Mountain gets a little spruced up. Invest in what you have. Fix the things there. Like you said, Tiana's isn't even 2 years old yet, and the thing is
Yeah.
falling apart. So let's fix what we've got, and then maybe down the road worry about a fifth gate. So I'm loving it.
Yeah, no, the fifth gate conversations, I fully agree with you. They always make me laugh because I'm like, are you guys forgetting that Animal Kingdom closes at 6 p.m.? Like, Animal Kingdom still has massive issues, and Tropical Americas is going to be phenomenal. Like, Tropical Americas, I think, is going to shock people with the level
Really?
of... Yeah, this lane is going to be stellar. Like, I am more excited for Tropical Americas than I am for Villains Lane. I know that's a hot take, but...
Holy
Yeah.
cow, that is a hot take. That's a
Yeah,
spicy take.
Tropical Americas is by far my number one, like way up here. And like even with that land and adding, you know, I guess you're adding a carousel, you're adding Encanto. The Indiana Jones doesn't add any capacity, but it's going to add more capacity in the sense of maybe having the lines be consistently longer than Dinosaur. Just the capacity of the line, right? But even after that, it's like you need a nighttime show at that theater, and I think you need another big e-ticket ride. Like, and everyone's like, well, just put Lion King there, and part of me is like, well, yes, but I think Paris deserves something exclusive. Like,
Yeah.
I would be okay
Poor
with just
Paris.
something brand new, not Lion King. Would I be mad whatsoever if we got Lion King? No, not at all. But I just think we need one more big brand new ride at Animal Kingdom,
I agree.
even after
Yeah.
Tropical Americas. Yeah, no, I'm just really pumped for what's to come.
All right, very cool. So let's talk about you being a content creator and entering that Disney realm of content creators, because
Yeah.
there are so many out there.
A lot of them.
So kind of, yeah, there's a lot, man. I mean, if you hop on YouTube, there's 8 million channels. If you're scrolling through TikTok, there's influencers left and right. So how is it being part of that circle, I guess? Do you get along with all the folks? Is there like
Yeah.
a very, competitive place to be at the same time?
Absolutely. It's extremely competitive and it's very saturated, but I actually love that because it motivates me to continue to be at the top of my game. Like,
Sure.
someone that I always turn to when I'm thinking about like content creation, and someone that I respect so much, and not only just because of what he does, but he's such a great person, is Scott Gustin, which we all know. I'm thinking of Scott because it's a Diz Twitter podcast, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like, I don't view Scott as competition whatsoever. I actually love that Scott and I post such similar things because it keeps me wanting to do better with my content, maybe adding music or editing a video in a different way. Just like today,
Yeah.
like something as simple as just trimming David Rudman's performance as Scooter today and adding music over it. I'm like, well, I haven't done that before, so let me try this. And Scott is so on top of things, it keeps me on top of things, and I also think it brings more value to everybody on Twitter as a whole. Like, if it was just Scott posting on Twitter, yeah, that's incredible. People still love what Scott's going to do. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. He's even expanded with Substack, which I think is incredible. Actually, hearing more of his thoughts, I actually love reading those articles. I'm a fan of Scott
Yeah.
myself. So that keeps me going, and also the fact that I think we bring more value to people because we want to do more. We kind of keep each other on our toes. But yeah, no, it's extremely competitive, but I love that. I guess why I mentioned that is because it makes me want to do more and to do better and continue to create high quality content, try to find angles faster and try to get stuff out as quickly as possible just so people actually see it. But I never view other creators as competition. I view them as motivation. If I see a creator invited to a movie premiere or an event where I'm not at it, I'm like, okay, awesome, good for you, enjoy that. I'm going to work even harder now to get that invite myself.
That's
And I also think that, kind of like what I mentioned earlier, is that a lot of people just like throw content out there, like they'll just film and they think that this phone is the all you just film and you post, but it can get exhausting at times. Like,
Sure.
it's the genesis of the idea to actually executing it, to getting the footage, and then for me I have to transfer it to my computer, and then editing it, exporting it, uploading it to Google Drive, putting it back on my phone, putting it on all the platforms, and to where every platform is different. Like, I can't post
Yeah.
the same caption on Twitter as I do on Threads, or on Threads as I do on Instagram. Like, every single caption, hashtag, thumbnail, thought, the text,
Sheesh.
like the actual, it's mentally exhausting at times. But yeah, like, if I see people thriving, good for you, awesome. I want people to thrive. Behind the scenes, I try to help out as many people as I possibly can because I understand it's a blessing for people to actually care about what I say and what I do. Like, the fact that I can just click post on Twitter and maybe 20,000 people see it in a few hours,
Yeah.
it still is very hard for me to process that to this day. So whenever, like, I'll have someone message me and they're like, I just had a kid message me the other day, it's like, hey, on your YouTube videos, like, you have these little things in the corner, and it, like, if I'm like giving credit to Disney or Bio Reconstruct or Blog Mickey, like, it's like, how do you do this? I'm like, well, you want to hop on the phone and talk about it? Like, how can I help you? Like,
Wow, look
I
at you.
will, any chance I can, I will literally be like, I use Canva for this, I do opacity, or like any little thing I can do to help people out. I genuinely want to, because I view myself as that kid, again, standing outside of Seven Doors Mine Train 10 years ago, however, like 12 years ago, time's flying, I forget of how long
Yeah.
time's been, but I was just this little kid losing my mind over these parks, and now I'm so fortunate and blessed to be able to share that information, like, in many ways on behalf of the Imagineers that have worked on these things that I love.
Yeah.
So I take it extremely, extremely seriously. But yeah, sometimes it can
awesome.
sometimes it can be exhausting and overwhelming, and yeah, there's all this drama and stuff, but like,
There's some drama out there.
yeah, it's like, I try to ignore it. I try to stay in my own lane. And also, the main thing I could ever share to someone, and I know it sounds so cliche, is they're like, well, I don't know what to do. Just click post. The amount of times where I have questioned a post, and yeah, half the time it's going to perform exactly like I thought. And then sometimes it's like, well, that did horrible, I can learn from it, or that far exceeded what I thought, right? Like, just put it out there. You never know who could possibly see it. And if one video does well, you never know what that can turn into. So, yeah, it's a mix of everything, but I view it as a blessing, first and foremost. And if anyone ever has any questions, or you're like, hey, how can I do this? Just DM me. Chances are I'll see it.
Drew the Generous dude, man.
I
You're
want
like
to, man.
Obi-Wan.
I want to, like, not to, I don't want to talk about this too much, because, like, it does affect my mental health, but since my dad passed away almost 2 months ago, my entire perspective on life has changed so much that, like, every single minute of the day, I'm just cherishing it even more than ever. And I'm also very grateful that my dad helped me build that foundation in my life to be able to, like, if I was 5 years old, I wouldn't have had the impact of my dad pouring into me for 20 years.
Sure.
But at this point in my life, almost being 24, I had enough time with him to still have a successful life. So my entire thought process on this little life that we
Dude.
live has changed. So I'm trying to help as many people as I can.
Yeah, dude, I agree, and we won't stay on it for too long.
Yeah.
Myself, my dad passed away 2.5 years ago, very suddenly. It was an awful thing, but same as you, man. My look on life completely changed. The things
Yeah.
I used to stress out about, I don't stress out about anymore. I just love life, and people would say, "Oh, you're too positive about Disney all the time." It's like, guys, at the
That's
end
our
of the day,
escape.
this is our escape. These
Yeah.
are parks we're supposed to go to and have fun. I'm not here to nitpick every little thing. I'm just trying to have a good time. That's just me. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you're doing well.
Yeah.
So the content thing. It's competitive. So
It
how
is.
often do you find yourself having to go to the parks? And when you're there, are you always working, or can you go sometimes just for fun? And if you're there for fun, in the back of your mind, do you see something like, "Oh, I got to
Well-
put a note down about that"?
Yeah, there's a thing that I have that my friends call me content brain, where it does not matter where I am, what I'm doing,
Yeah.
if I'm just trying to relax or have fun, my brain is always in what can I get to share with people who aren't here right now. Because part of the thing that I always want to do too is, like, if I'm fortunate to be at Magic Kingdom for a few hours, well, what I'm posting on Twitter, you guys aren't there with me, so how can I kind of bring you closer
Right.
to that, right? Like, I don't want it to just be about Drew. My number one goal with everything that I do, or just about most of what I do, is yes, it's my account, and I have my own thoughts and opinions, and yes, I'm a fan and I care about those things, and yeah, there will be times where I share
Right.
about me, but majority of the time I want to bring value to keep everyone updated on what's happening. Like, if I'm in Magic Kingdom and I see maybe a big construction milestone, well, maybe I was there originally to have fun, but now I'm in content mode to get that out there. Like, for example, whenever Rock and Roller Coaster opened, I originally went over to Hollywood Studios to go on Rock and Roller Coaster. I did not go on Rock and Roller Coaster that morning. I ended up spending 4 hours at the Walt Disney Studios courtyard getting as many videos and clips as possible because people are loving that courtyard so much. My mind
yeah.
went into, I want to put this out there and get these candid moments with the characters. So yeah, it's always in the back of my head. And even like, if I'm just going, like, the main ride that I like having fun on right now is Space Ranger Spin, because I really want to get 10 million points. Like, that's been my number. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to do this just for fun. But if there's like a ride stop and like the vehicle stops, so I'm like, well, I can get B-roll of this and I might never get B-roll of this again. Or get like an audio cue, you know, or the work lights
Yeah.
coming on, or get a zoomed in video. Like, I have this weird brain of like trying to document everything.
Sure.
So yeah, no, it's always there. But I at the same time, it's like, do I want to have fun at the parks, or am I so fortunate to be able to step foot into Animal Kingdom and have 5 posts to make over the next few hours? Like,
Right.
I think that that's really cool. So, yeah, like, as I'm taking these pictures and watching the construction happen and seeing the Encanto show building being closed and watching this retaining
Yeah.
wall go up in Piston Peak, like, behind the camera, I'm geeking out. But at the same time, I'm like, all right, I need this picture to be 10 times zoom on this, you know? So,
Yeah.
it's a constant battle, but yeah, I guess.
So do you go sometimes with the sole intent of, hey, this is a work-free visit. I'm just going to go. I'm going to have a snack or a meal. I'm going to ride a couple rides and then I'm going to go home. Or can you shut it off?
Not really. Yeah, like, it is just kind of become that's why I'm there. Like, yeah, there are
Yeah.
times where I'm going just to have fun, but I'd say maybe like 1 out of every 10 or 15 visits is just to have fun.
No.
Even if it is just to have fun, it'll be like literally like 2 or 3 hours. It's not
Wow.
long at all. But again, I guess
Okay.
that's like the blessing of being close. Is like, if I want to go on Buzz, I just wait till Happily Ever After starting, and no one's there because they're all going to watch
Right.
Parade and Fireworks. So yeah, no, content is always first and foremost, and content brain is by far the easiest way to describe it. I'm just constantly like,
Yeah.
well, maybe this doesn't work for Twitter, but well, people are liking what I'm doing on Instagram, so I could turn that into a carousel. Or it's just, it's the constant hamster wheel in my brain. So it's a lot. But
You gotta hustle.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of content, I was super excited. I think it was. I went back and looked. I think it was late January. You sent me a DM and said you were going on your first Disney cruise.
Yeah.
And I got so excited, man, because I think I had told you a couple of times, "Oh man, you gotta go on a cruise. You gotta
You
go
did.
on a cruise." So I was stoked to see that you went on one, and I know you've talked about it a little bit for maybe people who didn't see any of your content and your videos and all that. What did you think about DCL?
I don't even know where to begin. I love that cruise so
Right?
much. Like, it's funny because, again, being so fortunate to be next to Walt Disney World, like, I don't have that Disney withdrawal. And then I got
Right.
off the Disney Magic, I'm like, oh. Like,
Yeah.
I want to go back on that ship
Oh yeah.
right now. So, yeah, no, I am very much hooked. And I also noticed that, like, after I went on the Disney Magic for the first time, that once they announced the name of the Believe, I was much more excited to be learning about this new ship.
Okay. Yeah.
And the fact that, like, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, like I mentioned so many times, was like the first ride that got me into this stuff. And then seeing that Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs are going to be on the Believe, I'm like, oh, heck yeah. So
Yeah.
it definitely opened my eyes to the hospitality. It is just insane how phenomenal they are on cruise line. And I think the main thing that I was kind of shocked by, that, again, just being naive to cruise line, I was like, oh, you're just going on a ship, but that
Right.
got to go to freaking Chichen Itza as a result of being on that ship. Like, the ship in many ways is the destination, but also is just getting you to the destination. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's so many things I could talk about for hours with cruise line. But yeah, they definitely got me hooked, and I am like, I want to go back on a cruise.
So are you going to go on another one at some point?
Yeah, I'll probably wait till the Believe at this point.
Okay.
Just because, like, that ship started construction on my birthday, so I feel like I already have
Oh, that's cool.
I already have a tie to the Believe, and I also feel like I don't want to necessarily ruin it. Like, if I keep those cruises far apart and make those truly special things to where, I guess, kind of tagging on to what you just said about just having fun, like, if I can make the cruises to where I'm just disconnecting,
Sure.
just enjoying those, I think that'd be the best way to do it. But yeah, no, at some point, if the opportunity presents itself, I'll definitely go back on the ship. But yeah, no, I could not suggest the Magic enough. It was so. I also think it was perfect because it's a little baby ship, so I wasn't overwhelmed.
It
by
is.
it. It was
Yeah.
very easy to just enjoy it and not walk, 5 miles back and forth.
Yeah, very cool. Well, something else I know you love, and I wanted to bring up Fortnite a little bit.
Oh yeah, sign me up.
Look at that smile.
Woo!
So I don't know much of anything about Fortnite, but I do have two kids. My 11-year-old absolutely loves Fortnite. I think
I
my
like your kids,
15-year-old.
then.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
know.
So I know he loves it, and I told them, hey, this guy on Twitter said there's going to be some Disney stuff in Fortnite. Do you guys know anything about it? And they got super excited. So
Yeah.
what do you think the future of Disney plus Fortnite could be going forward?
Yeah, I think that. So right now, I know that the Millennium Falcon integration is still happening. Like, that's going to be,
Okay.
I think, the first test. Somehow, whatever you do in the mission is going to connect back to this digital universe. But
Oh,
the best way I can kind of describe Disney times Epic Games and Fortnite is that it's already happening. It's just very silently happening. Like, for example, the updates to Millennium Falcon, that's all running in 4K 60 FPS now because of Unreal Engine. And Unreal Engine
Okay.
is like a real-time game rendering tool that Epic Games has masterfully built over the last few decades. It is used in Minion Blast Universal, it's used in Smuggler's Run. All of the real-time scoring updates in Space Ranger Spin are powered by Unreal Engine machines. That's why everything is so quickly... Like, you can spam the triggers on Buzz, like, insanely quickly, and it's going to get every single shot because of Unreal. So, I believe it's now at 16 or 17 attractions that use Unreal Engine at Disney Parks worldwide. But this truly has the potential to literally revolutionize the Walt Disney Company and what this connection can look like between Disney Plus as like the centerpiece of the company, which is what I think Josh D'Amaro wants to do, where like somehow Disney Plus is the hub that kind of opens up everything. I feel like they're kind of going to aim to use Disney Plus as making people aware of what they're doing, from Fortnite to the parks to the cruise ships to merchandise. Like, use that as the
Okay.
tool to get people aware of what the company is doing. But yeah, like the thing is that I think I can answer this question a lot better after D23. But
oh,
I think the D23, because they've shifted the Disney game segment to the entertainment division under Dana Walden, is that Dana Walden and Asad Ayaz, who Dana is the president and chief creative officer, Asad is like the lead promoting person at Disney, is that they're really going to run with this D23 because, as far as I know, they're going to aim to launch everything this holiday season
okay.
either after or right around GTA 5 comes out. Or GTA, I don't know if it's GTA 5 or GTA 6. I think it's GTA 6. But Grand Theft Auto that's going to take all the cake when it comes to video games. So I'm very curious on when do you launch this. But between the power of Unreal Engine, also the fact no one's talking about this either, but I don't know if you guys saw that in that recent episode of We Call It Imagineering where they were talking about those projection front-facing
Yes.
animatronics.
Yeah.
the reason why those animatronics can be rendered in real time is because they're running on Unreal Engine 5. So we could be seeing things in Villain's Land, like if they're going to use those on an animatronic in Villain's Land, well, that means that Villain's Land is better because of Epic Games. So I think a lot of people are like, and this isn't a diss to you by any means, but a lot of people are like, well, I don't know anything about Fortnite. I don't like Fortnite. I'm not a video game person. I'm like,
sure.
That's fine. You don't have to care about Fortnite to care about how it's going to impact your experience. Like
the benefits of it.
Exactly. So I think Unreal Engine in many ways is the big prize here. It's not Fortnite by any means, but for someone like myself or your kids who just want to hop into Fortnite, I think by Christmas time you'll be able to run around in like this massive, expansive world that I think we're going to have Muppet Vision in there. I think we're going to have the Muppets. Like, I think you're going to be able to step into Disney parks wearing pretty much whatever you want within the world of Disney. Like, if I wanted to watch Muppet Vision inside of Fortnite as Kermit the Frog, I think that's going to be possible. So, out of everything Disney's doing right now, even more so than the expansions of the parks and the Disney Cruise Line expansion, I think the Fortnite thing has the most potential to really shatter expectations, because the way I view it is, if you look at the parks and the cruise ships, right? Incredible. You and I love them. Everyone watching loves them. But they're very physical, to where you have to get on that airplane, get a hotel. It's expensive. Where if I walked into the living room and got on my PlayStation 5, it's all there. This entire world within minutes. So I'm even thinking, like, whenever Tropical Americas opens next year, is Tropical Americas going to debut inside of Fortnite? So kids are familiar with what's happening in Animal Kingdom.
That's smart.
They say, oh, Mom and Dad, look at Encanto. Oh, that's real? Let's go there. And they start connecting promotions, like discounts, and getting people to the parks because of this video game. So
that's interesting.
My number one goal, last thing I'll say, I know I'm ranting, is that I actually want Disney to hire me as the creative on this to get it out there. Because yes, there's a lot of Fortnite fans, and yes, there's a lot of Disney fans, but I know this is a bold statement. I don't think there's a more qualified person on this planet than me when it comes to Fortnite and Disney parks to bring this together and get it out there. I've played Fortnite every single week since May of 2018 for 8 years now. Like,
cow.
I love this game. So I love Fortnite just as much as I love Disney. Like, if I had a Fortnite content creation page, I could probably have massive success, but I just don't have time for it. But like, I love this game so much, and Fortnite's last live event was more original than any ride Imagineering's done in the last few decades. Like, the storytelling in this game is on level with what Disney did back in the 1900s with those movies. This game it's not just this battle royale game. It's so many things now, and that's why when I'm like, Josh, and people are like, well, oh, Disney's failed with video games. People are like, oh, well, Disney hasn't Disney Infinity, and I'm like, I get that. That wasn't Josh D'Amaro. That was Bob Iger and previous leaders. Josh gets it. They're gonna run with it, and after D23, I think people are gonna be like, oh, and I'm gonna be like, I told you so.
Something you said is really interesting to me, and it's kind of like marketing in a way. You said kids can play this game, they can see the Encanto land, and then say, hey, I want to go visit that. Yeah. And it's so funny because growing up, for me, I'm older than you, I'm 40, so when I was growing up in like the mid-90s, and I post about this on Twitter every once in a while, that, oh, the Full House episode and the Step-by-Step episode of Boy Meets World, that's what made me want to go to Disney.
Exactly.
Kids aren't watching like network television anymore. They're playing these games. They're trapped in their VR headsets. So I never really thought about that. So that's a really interesting point.
Yeah, and the fact that, like, even something like the Little Mermaid musical adventure, like, all that media was built in Unreal Engine. So, like, they could literally, as far as I know, as of right now, we're going to be able to walk into Magic Kingdom inside of this Fortnite game. I say Fortnite because, like, it's going to be its own game. You just have to open Fortnite to get to it. This is going to be like a brand new game. I don't think they're going to charge for it. I think you're just going to have to buy things inside. Like, because Fortnite is free to play. I don't think they're going to change that. But I think there's going to be so many opportunities to buy things and engage with things. And also the fact that Galaxy's Edge, they already teased that they've already built Galaxy's Edge in Unreal Engine. And these look like one-to-one recreations of these worlds. So I'm like, well,
that's gnarly.
If you're going to spend like $500 million on a new land or a new ride, what better way to bring awareness to it, not only through what they're doing now with social media, which, it's getting a lot of views, but I think if you put that in front of the eyes of 2 million players on the game in a matter of days, well, some kids who love Disney who aren't even aware of what's being done at the parks right now are going to be like, what do you mean Walt Disney World has a brand new Disney Villains Land? You can walk into this digital version of it and then go visit it in real life. And maybe if you play Fortnite, you can get a 25% off vacation. Like, there's just so much potential. Like, back at D23 in 2024, when they first talked about this stuff, there was 1.1 million people watching Josh D'Amaro on the stage, and there was only 11,000 in person at the Honda Center. So if it's like, yeah, you have the biggest fans there in person, in the room with Josh, but 1.1 million people aware of this because of the game. It's a portal to open up any door you ever want. And that's why I'm like, everyone's sleeping on it. And every time I say people are sleeping on it, they're like, well, Disney doesn't know how to do video games. And it's not Josh D'Amaro that failed with the video games. Josh D'Amaro will succeed with the video games. So it'll happen at some point where people start to realize that, oh, yeah, they were serious about this. And also the fact that it's $1.5 billion. Like, I don't think Josh is going to be like, hey, Tim Sweeney, let's do this for $1.5 billion if they're not going to try to revolutionize what a company could be and pretty much kind of set themselves apart going into this next 10 years. So, yeah, I could talk to you about this for the next 2 hours, but I will stop talking.
Dude, you've got me excited about it. Again, I didn't know much about it, but just a little bit you told me, I'm stoked for that. All right, so I've got a few more things for you before we jump to Lightning Lane and do some fun things there. Let's talk about some hot button things on Diz Twitter for a second. Okay, so we're all, well, not all of us, but I'm very excited for Villains Land and Piston Peak and Tropical Americas, but all these things are IP, right?
They are.
So people seem to be fed up with anything that comes to the park that's IP. They never think we're going to get original kind of attractions in the parks again. Where do you fall on that? I mean, are you good with the IP, or do you want some originals? Does there need to be a balance?
So if I were to ask for an original ride that's fully original, I would say just give us a brand new Figment, right? No IP, just bring back Dreamfinder, go all out. Let the technology run. Give us an original ride like that, or maybe something where you kind of bring back those old ideas, like the River Expedition, or something like we're going to see at Epcot's World Showcase. Just give us one original ride. But something I feel that I always think about that I don't think gets enough credit is that Imagineering is being as original as they can within the parameters that they're basically given. So,
for sure.
Like, for example, right? Clearly there was an executive order that we're putting Cars in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Every time whenever I talk about these Imagineers, they're like, oh, those are the Imagineers that are destroying Magic Kingdom. These Imagineers do not control which project they are put on.
No.
They are, and I don't think people get that. It's not like,
it's
not like Chris Beatty and Michael Hungen went to Jeff Volley and said, hey, we want to destroy the river, let's do this. No, their job is saying, okay, Cars in Magic Kingdom, how do we somewhat make this work? Well, let's not just throw Radiator Springs Racers 2.0 behind Big Thunder Mountain. Let's make this a 4-acre national park with massive mountains, waterfalls, geysers, streams, mud pits, rainbow pools, and just attach Lightning McQueen and Mater to it. So Cars is getting all the attention. Cars in Magic Kingdom. Rah! I'm like, no. I think Disney shot themselves in the foot by saying we're bringing Cars to Magic Kingdom. I think if Josh D'Amaro walked out on stage in 2024 and said, hey, I know what I'm about to say is going to make a lot of you upset, but as a leader, I want to be transparent. We are demolishing this river to put a 4-acre national park in the center of Magic Kingdom. This is a very high-budget, comprehensive project. We're drawing inspiration from every single national park, the Grand Canyon, Tokyo Disneyland, Cars Land, Grizzly Peak. We're bringing all that into Magic Kingdom, and this project is going to shatter your expectations, be an absolute blast for families of all ages. This is why we're doing this. I think the reception would have been a lot better. But I still give the Imagineers credit for being as original as they possibly can be. Because yes, Lightning McQueen and Mater are there, Luigi and Guido are there, you still have these Cars characters, but even then we're getting Ranger J. Audubon Woodlore, that's an original character with a new voice actor in the queue for the Rally Race ride. All of the rock work, like, that is all fully original. Like, that's just the Imagineers' mind saying, they're not recreating Yellowstone, they're building their own national park. And even when I looked at Villains Land, like, yeah, it's the villains, but in many ways, I feel like the villains are the closest thing to not being IP, just because they're Disney. Like, yeah, it's very much IP, and people know these characters, but it's what Disney built over decades. All these incredible characters coming together for the first time. We've never seen them together, and that's in person, not in a movie. It's in person, and not just the fact that you're getting 2 e-ticket attractions next to each other. Like, yeah, I don't think those are going to be retellings of the movies, because in the movies they're not together. So I feel like a lot of the things that Disney says, it's not directly put into writing, but it's confirmed. Like, us having this original storyline for Villains Land with all these villains coming together under a mysterious spell confirms that you cannot do a book report of any of the movies, if that makes sense. Because
Yeah.
none of that exists in a movie. So in my mind, I'm saying, well, yes, we're getting an original storyline. We're getting 2 original storylines with these characters that we've never seen before. So yeah, they're going to make billions of dollars off of it. It is IP, but it's also very, very, very original. And that's what I will always defend Imagineering on is, yeah, you could tell a book report any day of the week, but I actually like living beyond these movies to where I have to go to the park to live that out. I've even seen people like, oh, well, why is Monsters, Inc. Land Human Day? I'm like, well, I've already watched the movie 5 times in my life. Like,
Right.
I love the movie. Phenomenal movie. The movie makes me cry at the end every single time I watch it. But if I am stepping foot into Monstropolis, I want to feel something new. Why does this land exist? And that's, I think, awesome to tell a new story here and collect, they're literally entertaining us on the roller coaster and in this new theater show because they want us to laugh. If we don't laugh, we're there for no reason. So I think that stuff's fun. I love it. I love when they get to be original within these worlds. Now, would I love original attractions? Yes, absolutely. But just thinking about the general family visiting, they don't care about those. Or
Yeah, see,
they don't
that's
care
where
about
I'm
them.
kind of at with it.
Yeah, like, I go back and forth on this so much because Disneyland was born on these originals like Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion.
Right.
The whole park was original, and it was such a massive success. I think that if Disney took a big swing and spent a few $100 million on an original attraction, it would thrive. And I think they'd be shocked at how well it's going to do. I just don't know with where the world is today with all these characters being so easily accessible on our phones and how that's just what the kids know from 2 years old through their entire childhood and teenagers. Like, I don't know if people necessarily care as much as they would have back in the 50s and 70s when these parks opened. I still think it would be a massive success though because we have social... I could give you a counterpoint immediately. Because of social media now, someone like myself or you could then go on social media and say, this is why this original attraction matters. Go check this out. I think we have the power as people to make people interested in originality. So, yeah, I go back and forth in my head. So I guess to wrap up your question, because I love to rant and I love to ramble. I'm very aware of that. But I want originality. I wish we got original attractions. I don't know if the general family visiting would care about them, but I think they would do better than I think Disney expects they would do. So maybe we get that big swing. I would love that, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
Okay, I like it. All right, and to kind of go hand in hand with that, this is the other thing I wanted to bring up because all these awesome new attractions that are coming, everybody is so pessimistic about it because they're like, what have the Imagineers done in the past however many years that's been any good? Look what happened to Tiana's. It sucks, and they're going to screw up Villains Land. So why should people have faith in Disney with all the new projects they have coming that they're going to be great and not whatever it is in the past that these people don't like?
Yeah, so I guess I'll start with the things that I think are misses. Now, these are just my thoughts again. No one has to agree with me. At this point, like we talked about, Tiana's, Zootopia, Better, whatever the name is,
Better Zootopia.
Yeah, not a big one by any means.
No.
I even think they missed the mark with the updates to Big Thunder Mountain's storyline. Like, I don't feel anything emotionally.
Oh, okay.
I think that Soarin' Across America is... Yikes. Not...
Really?
Yeah, I really wanted to love it, and I strongly dislike it. The center of Epcot is just a mess. So
It is.
Yeah, like, that's what's so funny is, like, I feel like whenever people think about me, they don't realize how balanced I actually think in my head because they just see what I post on Twitter. They don't listen to my YouTube videos or my Substack articles or these. I love when people say, do you want to come onto a podcast and talk? I'm like, yes, because I can actually speak. I actually get to be Drew and just be candid and real. Like,
This has been great.
I do think that there's been a lot of misses, and I totally understand that criticism. I also think it's extremely important to remember that Disneyland was closed for 14 months. Walt Disney World was closed for 4 months. The international parks were closed for months. We had Bob Chapek and not Bruce Vaughn at Imagineering. Now, no more Bob Chapek. We have Josh D'Amaro, a parks person, leading the company. We have Bruce Vaughn, who came back because of Josh D'Amaro, leading Imagineering. 2 of the highest ranking people at this company grew up through the parks. That is crucial. So, not only that, I guess I kind of talked about this earlier, that for the first time in 55 years, Imagineering has a very strong workforce in Florida. We have
Yeah.
people who live here designing our things, not from Glendale, not over Zoom meetings or virtual meetings or emails. These are being designed by people living in Florida, working on the ground, who understand what Walt Disney World needs to be successful. And we don't know this as of now. This is just Drew speculating because I love to speculate and ramble. Is that I think Josh being at the top of the company right now and saying, all right, so 2 years ago, I announced 14 new rides. Now I'm leading this company. Well, how do we make a big wave of D23? Well, we went from groundbreaking announcements to now I think we're going to get groundbreaking reveals of whenever you walk into Villains Land in 2029, 2030. For what it's worth, I really want Villains Land to open in October of 2029.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just in time for Halloween.
Spooky season.
They can do it. 3 years from now, I think Villains Land could be done. That is very
Okay.
doable. So that's the hope. Not saying it's happening, just the hope. But I'm thinking like Josh steps out on the stage at D23 in 60 days or so and says, all right, so all these announcements now we need to tell people about what they're going to be walking into a few years from now. Now is the time to really pull back the curtain on the actual details of what's to come. And the fact that you have 14 rides in development, they could go on the same level of the announcements from 2 years ago, but now circling back and just saying, okay, so we announced this before, here's everything that you want to know about this experience, from ride details to names to storytelling. Like, they can go all out for another 2.5 hours just on these same things. And like I mentioned earlier, I think we're going to get maybe a couple surprises, but I don't think they're going to be new builds necessarily. I mean,
Okay.
if we get one new ride, that'd be amazing. But I'm just like,
Yeah.
well, if I'm looking at Magic Kingdom, for example, right? In the next few years, Magic Kingdom's going to have more people visiting than ever. So Space Mountain needs to be as reliable as possible with that
yeah.
new... Like, if you're going to retrack Space Mountain, that makes it more reliable by the time that Cars opens, so more people are enjoying their day at the park. That matters just as much as the Cars area itself in my mind. So I think we're going to get a fun few announcements. And
Okay.
I also think we're going to get that Shanghai park, that second park. I just don't know if it's going to come right now for the 10th anniversary date itself or at D23.
Okay.
So I'm really, really excited. But I guess to answer your question of like, why should people be excited? It's because the leadership team just gets it. And whenever
Yeah.
you have leadership that gets it, that's going to trickle down throughout the entire division. So I am very much confident in the sense that I think they're going to get the budget they need, the creative resources they need. Bruce Vaughn has actually distributed resources to the Florida teams more efficiently than ever. So they're not waiting for what they needed to get these things done. That's why we're seeing everything being delivered in record time right now. That's why Rock and Roller Coaster was done in like 75 days. Because they're just trusting these Imagineers to do what they need to do, rather than saying, well, oh, let's run this by 7 different departments and so then sign off on it. Like, Bruce is like, no, just go. Like, you're going in the right direction, just get this open for our guests. So I am extremely confident and optimistic for the leadership and the budgets and the creatives behind these things. And then I think once these details are announced, we're going to see that shift of, oh, they aren't just doing this, they're doing this right. So
Cool.
the reason why I have, I'll show you, the reason why I have this countdown on my phone
Okay.
is because of what I think is going to be a very, very memorable night.
Okay, cool. So I was going to ask for predictions, but you kind of just gave us some there. Like, obviously, more reveals, names, what we might expect from these lands, maybe something to do with Space Mountain, more TLC, the things in the parks. That's where you're kind of leaning.
Yeah, just because, like, again, like, whenever I was at this little presentation recently at our little media event, like, they didn't tell us that Space Mountain's coming. They didn't say what's coming down the road. But the way I view it is, again, like I said earlier, how sometimes Disney is telling you things without saying it. I feel like if they're bringing us into a room to talk about reinvestment in the classics, this isn't ending with Carousel of Progress. There has to be stuff that they're already having conversations about behind the scenes, even after that. And when I'm just thinking logically about what could use an update, well, Magic Kingdom probably is going to be the focus because that's where all the people are going to be. Space Mountain it's just screaming at me like, yes, this is going to get a big update. So my mind is thinking, well, if they're talking to us about reinvestment in the classics and how the guests are enjoying these things, well, more's to come there. So that's one half of my mind. And then the other half is just like, well, we're starting to see major progress on these lands now. Like Monstropolis is coming to life. Cars is taking shape. Tropical Americas is moving ridiculously fast. So
Yeah.
at this point, it's like there's got to be some major things happening behind the scenes. I really just think it's a matter of what are the names of these rides? What are the story details? How many animatronics can we expect? who
Yeah.
are the voice actors, you know, like who's voicing Indiana Jones, for example. I just want to learn more about what's to come, and I think the main thing I'm excited about is like what are they actually going to show at that pavilion, because there's a lot of potential I think that they didn't deliver on in 2024. Like that pavilion was cool, but it wasn't anything big until
No.
Monstropolis
Yeah.
was revealed, and even then it was
Yeah.
just like a 3D printed model. So
Yeah.
now that these things are locked, like the blueprints are drawn, poster
Right.
tracks on site, there's no more creative decision making, it's just execution. So, what do you reveal to people that they can actually see in person? If you're going to spend hundreds of dollars on a ticket to D23, how do you say, thank you for spending money on this ticket, come look at this? Like, that's where I'm thinking right now. So,
I love it. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
there's a-
excited, man. Cannot
I am
wait.
too,
Hopefully
yeah.
you're there because I want to hang out with you there,
I
dude.
know.
That would be awesome.
I
All right,
think I'll
one
make
more
it in some
before.
way.
Very cool. One more before lightning round. If you were Disney CEO for one day, if Josh
Yeah.
said, "Hey, you can run the show for one day," what's the first thing you're doing?
I am hiring myself to lead Disney Times Up Games. I guess
I
that-
should have known that was coming.
Yeah, no, I would already be hired at that point. But like, in all seriousness, I think I would probably do something for the cast members, just because like
Oh,
the cast members do not get enough appreciation for what they do whatsoever.
They put up with a
Like,
lot.
Yeah, like, and I know it's a massive company, and I know that these are just machines that keep turning, but I just feel like if there was more little things done here and there to recognize the cast members for everything they do, that would be the
Yeah.
absolute best way to keep morale high. And if your cast morale is high, that's going to directly translate to your guest, and if your guest is having fun, they're going to come back and spend more money anyway. So I feel like sometimes there's just a little bit too much focus on, oh, we need to make as much money as possible. But if some of that money was just put back into the company, I think it's going to come back tenfold. So I would definitely probably lean into the Fortnite stuff if I was CEO for the day, and just try to meet as many cast members as possible and be like, how could I help you out? So that's what I
I
would do.
love it. I love it, man. All right, cool. So that's it for all that section of the show. Now we're going to go to the lightning round. All right, so I did this last week. It's going to be 13 questions, rapid fire. You just give me the first answer that comes to the top of your head, all right?
Let's do it.
Here we go. If you could bring any Disney IP to the parks that currently is not represented, what would you want to bring?
Ooh. I'm trying this. So funny. We've been talking about all these IPs.
Yeah?
This is a really
Any
man,
movie. Anything Disney
movie.
owns.
Gosh, this is really tough. What ride would I want?
Yeah, it could be
I don't-
any IP they own.
Okay, so can I give you something that doesn't exist even if we already have that IP? Because like we already have Toy Story, but we
Okay.
don't have like a vintage Woody's Roundup Dark Ride.
Okay, that would
Like
be cool.
I love Toy Story in the parks, but we've never had a true Toy Story Dark Ride with animatronics.
Yeah.
That would be if I was CEO for a day, I'd green like that. I guess I can add on to that question. So I would just
Okay.
want like a vintage Woody's Roundup stepping in, kind of like Runaway Railway, but more physical. But with
Yeah.
Toy Story would be my thing.
I love it. All right, so I'm in radio. I'm a huge music guy, so music in the parks is very important to me.
Yeah.
What is your favorite background music loop? Not like a ride loop, but your favorite background music loop.
I'd probably go with Tomorrowland and Magic Kingdom.
Classic.
Yeah, I just there's something about Tomorrowland that I love. I would have said Epcot before, but the new music now, it doesn't really.
Yeah.
It doesn't do much for me
Miss
now.
the old loop for sure.
Yeah, I mean, just even like Sunset Boulevard to Hollywood Studios, just like that classic Hollywood vibe. But yeah,
Yeah.
Tomorrowland, I really like Tomorrowland and Magic Kingdom.
Perfect. All right, if you could add another World Showcase pavilion, what country would you pick?
Ooh. Man, you're giving me some tough questions. I really should have had these. Why have we never thought of these before? I mean, people have wanted Brazil. I don't know. We
Yeah.
have Japan. I love Japan. Man,
So many countries in the world.
we don't have Africa. But
No.
Africa's not necessarily a country, right?
No,
Yeah.
that's a continent.
Yeah. Man, I don't know what I would add. I truly don't know.
See, I always
There's
thought
a-
Spain would be cool. I've always been a
Okay.
big fan of Spanish culture.
Maybe like
There's a lot.
Iceland or Greenland, something like more beautiful.
Okay.
Like
that
a
would
more
be cool.
naturally beautiful place.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe something that like if I wanted to visit there in the real world, or Sweden or something like that.
Very cool.
Like a naturally beautiful place. I guess I could one of those three.
I love it. All right, favorite animated Disney movie?
There's like so many that I love.
But you got to give me
So-
one. If you had
okay.
to pick one.
Probably Toy Story, the original Toy Story.
The OG.
Toy Story is my all-time favorite franchise. That movie is just so classic. I'll go with Toy Story to make it easy. But I know that might
Sidebar.
sound-
Are
yeah.
you excited for 5, or do you?
I
think
already
they
have
should
my
stop
ticket.
it?
Yeah, no.
Same. I'm going
I will
next
take
Friday.
I will take 10 more Toy Stories. I'll never say no.
I love it. All right, if you had to ride one ride from park open to park closed, you just got to go on and on and on. Which
Yeah.
ride are you riding?
People Mover for sure.
Of course, that's a good one. It's
Yeah.
a lot of scenery. You're moving around the park a lot. I like
Yeah,
that.
and I could actually work on the People Mover too. I could just pull up the
That's
laptop.
true.
There you go.
There you go. Favorite quick service location in the parks?
ABC Commissary at
Yes!
DHS. Yeah.
Dude, people sleep on that one.
Yeah.
It is
ABC
so
Commissary is fantastic. Yeah.
I love it. Mickey ice cream bar or sandwich?
Sandwich.
You and I would get along smashingly in the parks, man. You're picking my same answers. All right, this is going to be a hard one. If you had to delete one park from Disney World, just erase, hit the delete button, which of the 4 parks would you get rid of?
As of right now, Epcot easily. I have no desire to walk in Epcot. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Man,
used to
that's
love
tough.
I used to love Epcot, but with the festivals, I think they're very overhyped and kill the vibe, and just
Yeah, I
the
get
center of the
that.
park is a mess. The additions,
Drinking around the world.
yeah, I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me right now. Like, Animal Kingdom would have been that, but now the Tropical America is coming. I'm like, all right, no.
Okay, fair enough. Something I don't hear you talk about a lot are the resorts. So your
Yeah.
favorite resort at WDW?
I would say, as of right, it can change depending on when and where, but I'd say as of right now, Port Orleans Riverside.
Ooh, okay.
I love Port Orleans because it's just so naturally beautiful. But honorable mentions, I'll give to Wilderness Lodge and Pop Century.
Dude, people sleep on Pop too, and I know it's value, and people are like, oh, I want to stay at one of the fancy ones. Pop Century's a great resort, obviously for the Skyliner
Yeah.
now. All right, rank the 4 Disney parks from favorite to least favorite, and I guess we know Epcot's at the bottom. So
Yeah.
if you want to start from 3 and work your way up.
I would say number 1, I know this is a very hot take, I would say with everything that's happened to Hollywood Studios recently, I'd put that on my number 1.
Okay.
I like that Hollywood Studios is not a massive park, in that
Yeah.
you can get around very easily and just how much
sure.
is in that park now. I also like the nighttime neon lights and the music. It's just it's a
Same.
very cozy park. I would put Magic Kingdom at number 2 just because of how many personal memories I have of Magic Kingdom from Tom Sawyer Island. There was America, the Liberty Bell, Tiana's, all the construction, Space Ranger Spin, People Mover. Just I have a lot of memories of Magic Kingdom, so I put Magic Kingdom at 2, and then Animal Kingdom at 3 at least for now, and then Epcot at 4.
Okay. If you could build a land in a Disney park, what would it be and where would you put it?
Well, I would have said Monsters Inc., but we're getting that. I mean, we're not getting a Coco land yet. Like,
Yeah.
we're getting a Coco ride, but that ride's very constrained to that small space.
It's
I
tight.
feel like maybe if it wasn't just Coco, but more of like that actual culture, and Coco was just a part of it, like maybe like an expansion of Mexico, I don't know. But yeah, no, Coco, I always love the Pixar movies. Yeah, I really don't want Marvel at Walt Disney World. I know that's a hot
Yeah.
take too, but I'm not a huge
Yeah.
Marvel guy. Yeah, maybe. I'm trying to think. I like the I guess I could give you this. Like, if there was like a multi-IP land like Tropical Americas with 2 or 3 franchises that could fit, I would do something with that. I don't know exactly what I would do, but I would always want multiple stories to be told. So I guess I'll
love
leave it at that.
All right, 2 more for you. Favorite live action remake. Something else people hate. They hate the
Ooh.
live action remakes, but what's your favorite one?
I actually
Moana's
don't.
coming out soon.
Yeah, I don't dislike the live action remakes by any means, honestly.
I like a lot of them.
Yeah, if I can watch something and be entertained and just have a smile on my face, I'm okay.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I'd probably say Beauty and the Beast.
Dude, that's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
I love it.
I like Emma Watson a lot. Her voice is beautiful, and I just thought they did a great job with that one. So yeah, I'd say Beauty and the Beast. I like Lilo and Stitch too. Like, I know it was a different
Yeah.
take on it, but
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. So I'd say Beauty and the Beast though.
And finally, for a lightning round here, if you could bring one character meet to the park, a character who's not currently meeting guests, who would it be?
This is a under the radar one, but I'd probably do King Magnifico from Wish, just because.
Ooh,
Yeah, I think that his character kind of got overlooked. But I think like
Yeah.
like a true costume, like face character, like that costume would be awesome. If he had like an actual orb that you could hold. Yeah, I would do King Magnifico. That'd be fun.
People sleep on that movie too, but I love the music in that one. I thought it was
That-
a solid movie.
I listen to that music all the time, so I agree with you there. But yeah, no, I just think like an under the radar character would be fun.
All right, dude. Well, you passed the lightning round. That wasn't so hard, right? I mean, 13 fun questions for you.
I like it. I dig it.
All right, cool. So I'll let you go in a second. I know we're running a little long.
You're
Typically,
good.
at the end of these shows, what I wanted to do is news, and I mean, you're the king of all news when it comes to Disney Parks news. It's kind of a slow-ish week, but a couple of things I wanted to touch on real quick. There was an earthquake off the coast of Cuba earlier this week. We're recording this Wednesday night. What is it, June 10th? So I think it was Monday at around 2:10 p.m. Were you in the park at the time? Did you feel it?
I was actually in the shower and I did not feel it. So.
Okay, so you did not feel it.
I did not. I got out and I looked at my phone and I saw Scott posting about an earthquake. I'm like, what? Yeah, like I said, I'm a fan of Scott too. I follow Scott just as closely as everyone else.
Yeah, I was actually DMing with Scott a little bit earlier today. He's going to be on at the end of July so we can preview D23.
Heck yeah.
Scott's a good dude, man. So
He's
there
awesome.
you go. An earthquake in Disney World. I never thought I'd see the day, but apparently that wasn't the first one that's hit Florida. There was one, I forget, Scott Sanders posted about it
They are
many years
super rare, but yeah, I didn't feel it, unfortunately. I wish I would have felt it.
Unfortunately, you wanted to feel that one?
Yeah, it would have been fun to say I got to feel an earthquake
Well, you
in
grew up
Orlando.
in California, right? You spent a little time out there in your younger days.
It's funny, when I was actually at MCO, or not MCO, at LAX, flying home from D23 in 2024, I felt that we had a little earthquake in California that I felt at the airport.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. All right, a couple other quick things. Again, it was kind of a slow news week so far anyway. There's a new poutine place coming to Canada. Have you heard about this?
It just seems like it's one of these sponsorship things, and they're like, let's just force something here.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think it's like Air Canada. I could be wrong, but...
Yeah, hosted by Air Canada.
Yeah.
La Poutinerie, I guess is how you would say that. It opens July
I'll ever be going
1st. No, you're not a poutine fan?
Nah. I don't really eat at the parks. I know that might sound crazy, but I just go and have fun and I leave. Yeah, I know.
Really?
I know.
You just brown bag it, or you just eat before and after?
Before and after, really, yeah.
I guess I could have asked you that too earlier. Is it like you're just in the park so much? Is it just not as special to eat there anymore? You just get a little sick of it, or?
Yeah, and I just don't see a reason to spend like $15 on food when I can go to Taco Bell for like $6. So, yeah.
Dude, so when we go down, because obviously we live in Virginia, like I said, so when we go down, we're eating breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever meals we're having. It gets so expensive. You have to budget for so much just for meals. It's insane.
Yep.
But, no. All right. Anyway, a couple of other really quick things. The Grand Floridian Cafe is now confirmed a closing date. They're undergoing a big refurbishment. Last day is July 19th, which is my birthday. So if you want to go to Grand Floridian Cafe, are you a fan of that place? Ever been there before?
Yeah, I don't think I haven't even gone to like the little tea experience that they just reopened. So, Grand Floridian's like a hotel that I'll just pop into every once in a while if I walk over from Magic Kingdom just to do something different. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not at the resorts much.
And see, that's the thing. See, I love the resorts. I visit them all the time when we're down. We'll take like a resort day, not go to a park, just monorail hop or whatever. I think they've done a tremendous job with like I don't know if it's a retheming, but a refreshing of the Grand Floridian. It looks great, but Grand Floridian Cafe looks so old and dated. It's like grandma's kitchen or whatever from many, many, many years ago. So it needs to be done.
Pop Century's lobby unfortunately got ruined when it got updated, which I'm really sad about. But Grand Floridian, they did a really classy job with it.
Did you ever do any like staycations at all?
Rarely. I mean, Disney put me up at Riverside for a couple nights for the event, and I guess I could consider that, but like that was just like a last minute, very fun opportunity type thing. So I guess I could consider that, but at the same time, it was very much like you have to be up early every day, so we need you here. Like,
here.
I'm not saying
no. For sure, taken, man. And finally, I think this was today. I actually saw you post about it. The Sam Eagle bucket, the popcorn bucket. So that's coming to Disneyland June 30th, and then I guess it'll be in Disney World at some point. I didn't know, like, we get in on the East Coast last because they ship from China. So they go to the West Coast, and then they have to truck them across the country to get to Disney World, which is why we get them so much later.
I always feel bad when people comment on my posts. They're like, where, when, why did they not? I'm like, guys, I don't know. I wish I knew. I don't. Like,
Are you a popcorn bucket guy?
Not at all. Not whatsoever.
See, neither am I.
I think they're awesome. I'm all for them, but I just like posting about them. I don't collect them.
They take up so much room. They're kind of like big toys. I mean, you're not going to eat the popcorn out of it. So you're buying a big toy. Anyway, so it was a slow news week, but Drew, dude, this has been awesome. And thank you so much for coming on. Like I said, you were one of the first people I thought of when I started this podcast, so it has been a pleasure. And tell people who may be watching this where they can find you if they aren't familiar.
Yeah, I am on, I guess the main thing I've been aiming to do this year is being on every platform, like
Wow.
a lot of people knew me because of Twitter. And then I'm like, well, a lot of people don't like Twitter, so I got to go everywhere. So at this point, I have a pretty established presence on everywhere, from Twitter, YouTube, Threads, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. So also Substack now, drewthedisneydude.substack.com. So yeah, and wherever you guys are, I'll keep you updated.
Very cool. And what's the next big video? What are you going to focus on?
So I have a decent amount of what I need to do before D23. I want to get some Tropical Americas videos out before the announcements are made to try to actually accurately predict what's coming. And just kind of get my thoughts out there, because like it's not fun to talk about stuff once it's public. Like there's nothing special about that.
Yeah.
So Tropical Americas is a big focus. The 3D printing stuff with Hattie and how 3D printing will impact the parks is a big one.
Okay.
And then I was probably going to do something else, like a construction update here or there. But yeah, I think between Tropical Americas, construction, Hattie, maybe if we get the second Shanghai park before D23. So yeah, I've got plenty of ideas, but now I've got to actually film them, which is not the fun part.
Nice. Well, Drew, thank you so much again for joining us, man. Have a great rest of your night, and hopefully I'll see you at D23 or at some point in the near future.
Yeah, I will figure it out in some way. We'll look back on this when we're there and be like, hey, we're here. So that's the goal. That's the goal.
Sounds good. Well, thank you, man.
Goodbye, everybody.